Thank you all for coming this evening, and for those that couldn't be present but are joining us online, we're streaming this live on Facebook, so hopefully some people are watching along. This evening is all about bringing together Hindmarsh businesses to help drive and create positive change and momentum across our business community. We will officially launch the Westvic Business Hindmarsh chapter and trust that this will be the first of many quarterly Hindmarsh chapter meetings based on the key themes that you tonight, the Hindmarsh businesses, want to discuss. Tonight, we're going to hear some amazing stories from business owners who have faced struggles and reinvented themselves and how they chose a new way to do business.
Formerly was Business Horsham. Westvic Business came into being very late last year. But Business Horsham has existed for many, many years, and there's been a number of people involved over a long period of time that have steered that group. It is about launching the Hindmarsh chapter. Business Horsham, as I said, has existed for a long, long time, but during COVID, with the challenges and the trials that have come around, people from areas beyond Horsham were reaching out, particularly to Stacey Tague, the ambassador for Westvic Business. And it was through those contacts, those connections made certainly by Chan and others, that the idea grew to morph from Business Horsham to Westvic Business, incorporating all those LGAs around the Horsham area. It's not Horsham-centric by any means. It's about developing and supporting businesses across the region and businesses building connections to each other, encouraging and supporting each other through what has been some very difficult and trying times. Thank you for being here and welcome to the launch of the Hindmarsh chapter of Westvic Business. Thank you.
Now, what is the Powerful Life? Powerful Life is actually my business, which is a mindset coaching business. And a lot of you would probably go, what is mindset coaching? And I simply put it this way: where you've got to and your level of success today is the result of what you were brought up to believe and what you've put into place in your behaviours. And what we do in mindset coaching is that we examine your set of beliefs from a business or a personal point of view. We identify what they are. And if you want to go to the next level in terms of success, in whether it's in life or in business or whatever you do, how do you need to change your thinking? So mindset coaching is about essentially changing your thinking. So about 2 years ago, just before COVID, my wife and I sat down and we had a discussion about what do we do after we exit the business. Because at the end of 2021, we were facing our franchise agreement was ending and our lease was ending. And did we want to go on? And there's so many businesses out there right now who are having that. There's something coming up. Do they want to go on? I don't know whether this is particular to Horsham or not, but sometimes there seems to be this attitude, hey, we're on sale, our business is for sale, but don't tell anyone because they might think our business is going bad. I'll never forget that experience going up in the plane, attached to the instructor. I turned to him and said, is there enough parachute here? Because we're two pretty big blokes, and he just says, look, it's okay. There's plenty there, no worries. And he says to me, you're very calm on the outside. I said, yeah, mate, but I'm churning inside. Anyway, get up in the plane, the door goes up, all these people start piling out. I get to the edge of the plane, the guy's attached to me, I looked out. I can't say the word that I actually screamed when we fell out of the plane, but 2 seconds into that, then I started to go, oh my God, this is incredible. We're going so fast. We got on the ground. It was pulling the parachute was almost a disappointment because I was just loving the speed that we were going at. We get on the ground and turned to the instructor and said, can we do that again? If you've got something on the negative side there, we need to do something about it. You need to do something about it. And I say staff because that's most people's issue. Emotions are energy, and we can use that in a positive or negative way. And it's the old flight or fight response. But every emotion is an energy. If you're angry, it's an energy, but it's a negative energy. If you're happy, it's an energy, but it's a positive one. If you're sitting there going, I want to have $1 million, I want to earn $1 million, I want to be a millionaire. The question I would say to you, what actually is it that you want? Because the figure of $1 million is just an ends to a means. Think about what it would provide for you and attach a positive feeling to it, because that's the thing that's going to drive you. His story is, at 22 and 21, my wife and I opened what was then called Capone's in 2010. Resilience through the pandemic was something that came naturally. Our businesses are our livelihoods, and we do all things possible to survive anything that is thrown at them. Challenges force us to change and reinvent ourselves. Really good point. Bonnie and Clyde's major reinvention of itself came in 2013 with some major competition that was coming into town called Pizza Capers. We expanded kitchen operation and started a delivery fleet. In our business model, we have three major revenue streams: takeaway, delivery, and dine-in. Dine-in was only ever a small part, 10%, even when having a 120-seat establishment. Now, so they had a lease coming to end. How common is that? There's something coming up and you've got to deal with it. Designing a kitchen from a blank canvas because that store used to be a shoe store. Designing a kitchen from a blank canvas has been what I've been most proud of, particularly because it's the one that most people do not notice. Working out workflows, efficiency, production of food. I did draw inspiration from the biggest multinational. I call it a pizza factory. We have a one-way kitchen system from when the dough is made, rolled, pizza prepared to order, cooked to then dispatch. No kitchen operator crosses paths. It's this reinvention that has allowed us to go from averaging 1,200 pizzas a week to well above 2,000. He cuts his restaurant. He goes into a vacant building. He redesigns it the way he wants it. And he goes from 1,200 pizzas to 2,000. A lot of individuals had their doubts on us moving from what was quite an amazing restaurant, but we backed ourselves in and showed what knuckling down can achieve. I like to think that we have completely changed what a takeaway food premises can be.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming. I'll start my story with coming to Nhill was an accident. The building was perfect for an Imaginarium because you cannot create an Imaginarium in a normal shop because I needed to tell a story. So I didn't know anything about Nhill apart from the fact that the 2 times that I drove through there were no cars on the road, there was no one walking the streets. So I thought, wow, it was a really sleepy town based on my samples of going through there. So I thought, wow, the building's perfect for a new shop, but the risks were high. I don't know anything about Nhill, but what caught my attention and changed my mind about Nhill was reading about the comments about the park across the road. It was a Pick My project. The Nhill hotel site, burnt down in 2003. So when I read the community comments online about how much it meant to them, the community site, it gave me a window into the community. So I was touched by the comments that I read, and I thought, I want to be a part of that. He gave us a heads up. Don't do anything too ambitious. Some locals may not like it. But I guess you have to ignore it because you realize those people don't pay your bills. You know what I mean? So you just have to pursue. So you have to be ambitious to bring customers to shop in Nhill. You have to be ambitious. You have to create something amazing that will bring people, to come to Nhill. The first goal was, how do I attract people from Horsham to shop in Nhill? And then the surrounding towns. And then the other one is, how do you attract people from Melbourne to shop in Nhill? So what I did was you create something that's really out there. So by creating something beautiful that people can experience and you wow them, you sort of want to blow their expectations. So that's, I guess, has been, my journey is you do have to be ambitious. You have to change people's perceptions. So I'm quite excited about the area because it's got a lot of potential. I do see it as the last frontier for tourism, only because when I did my research for Nhill and the Wimmera, there's not much out there. At the time, when you look at Visit Victoria sites, there's no real presence. So it really is the unknown. But being a negative, turning that into a positive is that there's a lot of opportunities for the Wimmera. I think there's a lot of experiences that need to be discovered, but also created as well. But when you've been in lockdown for a few months, a 4-hour drive is liberating. So at the moment, I think the Wimmera is going through a very exciting stage in terms of opportunities, because when they travel to Nhill or to the Wimmera, I'm finding out most of them are first timers, but you do have to reward them for that 4-hour effort. So what we're very conscious of being in Nhill is to give them that experience. So just A, being open, and B, giving them something that's way out there. You know, be ambitious and create something that they don't see. We've created a shop that people in Melbourne don't see. Now, we all need to have imagination. I really want to encourage everyone here to, if you want to succeed in your business and also for the area to become something, is to embrace your imagination. When you look at human history, what all humans have created or achieved, it all starts from the imagination. And I think the Wimmera can become something truly amazing if we all embrace the imagination.
Who would like our business community to network and work together as a team. But this is for that to carry over to the whole Shire and the Wimmera region. But when I realised this was the direction I wanted to go in, and the rest of the family came along for the ride, willing or not, I approached Lee White from Cubbies Limited in the UK and became the Australian and New Zealand distributor for the wonderful soft toy Cubbies. Now, Lee is a creative, English, youngish male with ADHD. Great fun to work with. It's why he creates an amazing product that he creates, and the fine detail and the no fear factor. So it's well worth working with him. And I wanted to make my Cubbies. I wanted to embroider Cubbies, so why not be the distributor? So my message to everyone is sometimes you just have to ask a question, which I did to Lee, and all people can do is say no. And it doesn't matter where you live in the country anymore. You don't have to be in a metropolitan setting to be an Australian distributor, because all my stockists are online. They all order online. Every now and then one of them will drop in, or better still, I dropped in on one when I was on holidays and they nearly fell over. Our Shire and the Wimmera in general have so much to offer that we just take for granted. The past cannot be undone. It is what we do with the future that matters. Complaining about the past doesn't change the future. Recognising things need to change does. So let's make a difference together now.
And this is going to sound strange because COVID has been so difficult for so many, many people. But I take the point of view, I look to the blessings of COVID. I work in an industry that COVID has actually dragged into the 21st century. I work with lawyers, and believe me, they were technophobes. It's been forced upon them. There's been positives come from it. In December, I contracted COVID, and my wife, courtesy of my wife, I blame her. But the blessing of COVID for me, I'm now 13.5 kilograms lighter, and every article of clothing I've got fits me. So that's fantastic. We can either choose to look on the positive, or we can choose to look on the negative. The other thing is, we're talking about networking, spoken about our businesses, but I'll leave you with this one parting comment. People are more important than places or things. People are more important than our businesses, and networking in many respects is a fancy word someone created about having a conversation. Networking is having a conversation. A conversation's been started here tonight. Conversations will continue, I'm sure, in the next little while, and I look forward to the conversations that continue in different towns around the Hindmarsh Shire in the coming months. So thank you very, very much, everyone, for coming tonight.